Today, I'm going to introduce you to the girl next door. Her name is Riley June Williams. On January 6, 2021, Riley June Williams, a 22-year-old home care worker from Pennsylvania, was one of roughly 800 rioters who breached the United States Capitol building in Washington, D.C. While many engaged in property damage and violence that day, Williams' case stands out, given her ex-partner has alleged to the FBI that she stole a laptop from Nancy Pelosi's office. Like I said, everyone, the girl next door. Hello, and thank you for joining me. I'm Joe Pometto, Joe the Lawyer. Here on this channel, I analyze legal news and I do legal analysis of the news. I'm a practicing attorney in Pittsburgh, PA. I do a lot of criminal defense. And if you like my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions. I have over 950. So if you're watching this channel and you have not subscribed, go ahead. An easy way to support my show is to hit that subscribe button. Now, one ritual we do have on the show before we get into the content is we take a sip together, the same time sip, because as everyone knows, it tastes better when we sip together. I know you guys don't see me drink water that often, but I do. Cheers. The same time sip. Back to the story of Riley June Williams. The former boyfriend also alleges that her goal was to sell the laptop to a Russian intelligence agency, a claim January court documents say remains under investigation, but which has been denied by Williams' lawyer, who accuses the former partner of seeking revenge. While Williams has not been charged with stealing the laptop itself, something she also denies, she faces multiple charges, including violent entry and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds, as well as aiding and abetting others to embezzle, steal, and purloin. And we will take a look at those charges in this video. Footage from January 6, released by ITV News, shows Williams urging rioters upstairs towards congressional offices. In one video from inside Pelosi's office, a voice that the FBI states it believes to be Williams says, "Dude, put on gloves," before a gloved hand takes a laptop from the table. The affidavit links to a thread of captured Discord posts from a user named Riley bragging stole S-H-I-T, stole shit from Nancy Pelosi. Now, this article that I'm reading, the information that I got, is from a website that is called BELLINGCAT, and the article was written by a journalist who was active in multiple war zones. Okay. In an interview with ITV on January 16th, Williams' mother described her daughter as getting caught up in the moment. She noted Riley had been radicalized on far-right message boards, but described her daughter's main political goal as wanting America to get the correct information. Well, I didn't know that storming the Capitol was a way of getting the correct information to Americans. However, BELLINGCAT has since received information that suggests Williams was more than just a Trump supporter caught up in the maelstrom. She is somebody who posted racist and anti-Semitic content, as well as filmed a video that appears openly white supremacist and promotes accelerationism. This is something new to me, speeding up the collapse of society as a pathway towards establishing a white supremacist state. Now, let's take a look at the video. Here's the alleged video of Williams at the U.S. Capitol storming on January 6th in a story from ITV.
She stood out during the siege of the Capitol, wearing spectacles, a long coat, a bright green t-shirt bearing an alt-right slogan. Among the many men here, this woman's identity has been a mystery. ITV News has identified her and spoke to her mother, who confirmed it's her daughter, a 22-year-old carer, in the footage. There's no way that there's any confusion that this is your daughter.
That's my daughter. Mm-hmm.
And what do you think when you first saw that picture?
I'm very unhappy. I'm sad that happened to her, that she was actually inside. That's what the video shows, you know. She's actually gone. She took off not only because of that.
When we arrived, her mother said she'd just left home without saying where she was going, and that neither the police nor the FBI had yet been in touch.
Should she not phone the FBI or the police and declare that she was in there?
Well, she figures if it's out there, they'll come to her and ask her about it.
This image, shared with ITV News, appears to show Riley Williams during the months before the riot. Her mother says she took a sudden interest in Trump's politics and in far-right message boards.
She goes to rallies, but
What sort of rallies has she been saying?
she never
Trump?
ever talked about them or agrees with them. It's all about just wanting America to get the correct information. That's all.
Yeah, and what is the correct information from her point
You'd
of
have
view?
to ask her.
Yeah.
I'm not very political.
She seemed to be guiding people in the footage that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what was she a leader, or was she? Why do you think she?
No, she's definitely not a leader. I just think she was like, I know there was another woman beside her also doing it. I think she was just like, they're letting us up. They're letting us up. Come on, let's go. She's a 22-year-old who, like I said, she's very empathetic and loving.
As the troops continue to gather close to the scene of the siege, Riley Williams is one part of one of the largest police investigations here since 9/11.
So, in that video, Mom says that Riley does not believe any of the stuff that they purport her to believe. I'm going to leave that determination up to you. You believe what you think the facts and the information presented to you shows you, and I will give you my opinion at the end of the video. But let's take a look at some more, shall we call it, evidence. After seeing her in that video, take a look at the Twitter handle that is associated with Riley Williams. This is also from the BELLINGCAT article. I'm going to put that, we're going to put that Twitter image up right now, okay? And in that image, so it says White Pill Groiper, you can see, and in that image, the handle itself shows what appears to be a woman with a face mask on, a COVID mask that has a skull, and she is holding a rifle. Okay, and that looks familiar because in the video that we just watched, we saw a similar image, a woman holding a rifle, wearing a skull face mask, a white woman. So this appears to be Ms. Williams. Though I will say that it's alleged right now. These are just alleged links. Okay, now let's take a look at another photo of Ms. Williams. It's far more disturbing. Okay, this photo depicts her, and we can all tell what the hands what she's doing with her hands. Okay, I'm not going to say certain things here on YouTube. They don't need to be said anyway. I don't want my channel to just get wrapped up in the demonetization and cancellation of YouTube just because I use certain words, even though I'm criticizing these things. But you can tell what's going on in that picture, okay? The hand symbol that this woman is making. Now, if you look at the BELLINGCAT article, they draw several conclusions from Riley Williams' presence on the internet to say that the woman in this image is her, okay? So I'm not 100% sure. This is alleged, all right? But, you know, she has that mask on. Those glasses are apparently sold on white supremacist websites, and that hat that she's wearing is apparently a form of white supremacist symbology, okay? But I don't know. There's also an SS, well, you know what the SS is from Germany, World War II. Okay, book that you can't see in this picture, but if you go to the article that is attached in the description below, you can check it out. So it's kind of clear the message that she's putting off here. And this is actually a still shot from a little video that talks about acceleration and has some music mixed up in it. So, you know, draw the conclusions that you want from these images that we are looking at. Now, I do want to present Riley Williams' side of the story, and that comes in the form of a statement that her attorney made when responding to NBC News. And I originally saw the allegations about this woman on NBC News actually last night. So Kramer, her attorney, later followed up in an email to NBC News stating the video, which shows that image, was an ironic internet joke about and against people called Wignats, who are like National Socialists and white supremacists. The video, he added, was meant to mock such people and is opposed to their beliefs. The term Wignat was popularized by Andrew Anglin and the Daily Stormer. It's a term used by white nationalists to denigrate other white nationalists. Draw what you will, draw the conclusions that you want. Take a look at that article. There's even more information about how they draw all the conclusions here. Now, as you saw, this woman was at the January 6th storming of the Capitol. So now let's take a look at the criminal complaint that was filed against her in federal court. All right. And we can see here there are 4 charges. It appears to be 4 charges. I don't do federal criminal defense. I haven't done federal criminal defense. I mostly do state. Regardless, we're looking at knowingly entering or remaining in any restricted building or grounds without lawful authority, violent entry and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds, aid and abet others to embezzle, steal, purloin, obstruct, influence, or impede any official proceeding. 4 separate charges. Some of them carry up to 20 years in prison. I looked at that. Now, I think what Ms. Williams is going to have to worry about here is if the judge sees a lot of the evidence that I just showed you and starts connecting dots now and is sentencing her on her breaking in and storming the Capitol, it could get a lot worse. It could get a lot worse. Let me say here, I'm not going to be like the media is, all right? And I'm not gonna put everyone who was at the Capitol into one basket, okay? There were many people there who were protesting peacefully. The majority of the people that were at that rally that day did not break into or enter the Capitol, okay? And those people were there exercising their free speech, which I fully support. The people that broke into the Capitol, though, have committed a crime and they should be prosecuted. The same goes for any protest, including protests that we saw over the summer, where the vast majority, and I've seen say 92%, 94% were peaceful protests. Well, 6%, 8% of the protests were not. Property damage was committed. Anybody who protests and breaks the law in that process, okay, should be prosecuted. People in this country need to learn to protest peacefully, no matter what side of the aisle you are on. So by pointing out Ms. Williams, I'm not putting everyone who was there into a basket. I think the vast majority of the people that were there protesting, exercising their rights peacefully, and I support that, no matter what side of the aisle someone is on. What makes this story fascinating is a couple of things. Is number one, this woman is 22 years old. I don't believe that she has enough real world experience to understand what the ideas are that she is espousing. Even if it is a joke, you do not do these things, put these things on the internet. It's not funny. Nobody is laughing at it, okay? My grandfather served in World War II. He fought in Europe against Nazi Germany. He was hit by shrapnel from artillery or a tank blast, was injured, earned a Purple Heart, fought on the front lines for weeks and months. And after he was injured in combat, he went to England to recover. Okay, this is no joke. Okay, Germany in World War II was run by an evil regime. Okay, and their ideas should be destroyed and put in the dustbin of history. You know, I remember when the last World War I veteran in the United States died, and we're starting to lose our World War II veterans. And this 22-year-old woman, I just don't believe she has a sense of perspective or reality, or that World War II is a reality to many young people that lived, that are alive today. Okay. I didn't live through it. I did not, but I grew up around people who did. My grandfather, his brothers, they all served in World War II. This is no joke. So and I understand her attorney is just doing his job, okay, and he's doing the best he can to advocate on behalf of his client. And I have nothing against that person, that man at all. However, this is not a joke, and it's not funny, and these are not the kinds of things that it is funny to joke about. It's interesting here, and tell me if I'm the only one to see this pattern, and maybe I am, and I don't mean this in any way or another way. It's interesting here that this is a female, okay? And the reason why is because we expect men to do extreme things, okay, for better or worse. So nobody's surprised by males. It is more fascinating to the imagination when there are females involved in ideas like this or a situation like this, because it is rarer. Because it is rarer, it is fascinating. And you all just watched that video. I called her the girl next door. I don't think this is the girl that anybody wants living next door, to be perfectly honest. And I want to talk a little bit about symbology, right? These symbols that this woman allegedly advocates, okay, because we don't know for sure. Again, they're not funny. And, the truth, though, is that symbols outlast a person. A person will die, but ideas live on. A person will die, but symbols live on. So it is important that certain symbols are combated at every turn, because their life can be eternal and can be resurrected, whereas human beings cannot. Symbols are incredibly, incredibly powerful. I don't want to downplay that. I also don't like. Have these people seen American History X? Because going down the rabbit hole that she perhaps is going down, and I don't know for sure, okay, it looks that way. I read that article. I'm seeing this on the news. Going down that rabbit hole is not only going to do incredible damage to society, it's going to damage the individual themselves, and it's also going to damage the family and everyone around them. And I would say go watch American History X. It's a good movie. There's something to be learned from it. Go and pick up a book on World War II. I mean, learn some history here. I'm going to follow this story. It'll be fascinating to see what happens. She may pick up charges for trying to take the laptop and sell it to the Russians. And if that happens, things will get even worse for her. The federal courts are going to be full. The FBI is doing a good job of arresting people who were involved in this situation. And again, from my position, even people who are involved, if people were involved in the protests over the summer, they broke the law, they should be prosecuted. People involved in this protest and they broke the law, they should be prosecuted. The rule of law must be maintained and respected on both sides of the political aisle so that our country, okay, can survive and continue to thrive. Thank you for joining me today on Joe the Lawyer. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'm here to provide legal analysis on legal news. I follow certain legal cases, trying to get to 1,000 subscriptions. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you found this episode informative and powerful and learned something from it. Peace.